folks. Good morning. Seems like people like the last video. Unscripted, somewhat unplanned, so we'll go in that direction. Although it's really kind of hard to break the habit of having a plan for these videos. You know, there's a risk that if I don't plan anything, if I don't write anything down, it's not so much that I won't have anything to say, it's more that things just go on and on and on. By the time I try to edit something into something useful or helpful for people, I find all that talking and there wasn't really all that much that ended up being, you know, to the point, and it would have gone better if I had just planned it out. So what's the plan, the unplanned plan? Well, first of all, people left comments, which was super cool, about things they wanted to hear about, which is great. Then I know what to talk about, and a lot of the times they're small questions with kind of small answers. That's not going to take up too much time, so it doesn't have to be necessarily one big long lecture on any particular subject, which is really helpful. So anyway, all that is to say, I've got an idea for video. It's pretty simple. It's just one different way to use a metronome other than the most basic stuff, depending on how much experience you have. So we'll see how that goes. But that's what I've been thinking about, because I haven't really played all that much three-finger lately, and people are asking about more of those videos as well, splitting time with three-finger and clawhammer. And when I don't spend that much time with three-finger, it definitely is something I spend a lot of time with, playing with a metronome. So that's what we'll talk about, just a little metronome tip. All right. All right, so one of the ways that people play with a metronome is that they will set to a particular tempo. Don't overthink the numbers or anything, but say 60 beats per minute. And in their head, they'll think 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and play 4 notes per click. And if you think about it in those terms, then it's kind of like the click is happening when the bass in a bluegrass band would be happening, right? So if I have this going again. That's kind of when the bass would play. And so in relation to what we're playing, in terms of my roll-based Scruggs style stuff, then I'm kind of hearing the click in that way. But there's another way you can play with a metronome which kind of flips that. So instead of playing with the bass on 1 and 3, it's like you're playing with the mandolin on 2 and 4. So here's what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, nothing I'm playing is different. The metronome's not doing anything different. It's just how I'm playing in relation to it. So if you're listening to what I was playing earlier in this video, the clawhammer stuff, and just now, that's what I was doing. I was playing with the metronome, clicking on what you call the backbeat, or it's the mandolin chop. It's on 2 and 4, whatever you want to call it. It just feels a little bit different, and there can be some benefits to practicing it that way. Even if it's just challenging, it's just good because a challenge is going to be good for you. So here's how you do that. One little trick you can do is just start counting on 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then start playing on 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. again, you're playing the same thing. The metronome's doing the same thing. It's just in relation to that. So you're kind of tricking your brain into hearing it a different way. Once you've done that, once you've started counting on 2 and you kind of get comfortable with that, then you start, in my opinion anyway, you start kind of relaxing into the rhythm of that. Because that's the reason the mandolin's chopping on the 2 and the 4. It kind of gives it that backbeat, gives it the particular groove that bluegrass has. So once you're hearing the metronome in that capacity, you're starting to feel that groove. Then when you play, that's what you're playing along with, is that perceived groove. The metronome's not doing anything different. The metronome never changes. But you're perceiving it in a way that might help you, play rhythm differently. That's the idea. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have groove or good timing after this. It's just different experiments for seeing what happens to your timing, or seeing what you can have control over. And so the goal here really is to feel that rhythm, not just be counting it all the time, but the counting is a trick to get you to start feeling it. So you start counting on 2, then just try to hear that click is happening on that backbeat. Then you can start to play something. Play that roll pattern, that thumb, index, thumb, middle pattern, which translates really well into like the B part for Cripple Creek. And then you can just kind of see what you can play in that respect. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, of course, as with all other practice stuff, especially with the metronome, feel free to start slow. Just see what you're comfortable with. When you're comfortable with something, speed it up a little bit, and sky's the limit. Make it as fast as you want, but try to be as thoughtful and meticulous as you can without pulling your hair out. Make sure you're having a good time also. But this is what I've been working on, and if you got any other questions about it, feel free to leave a comment. If you want to learn any of the stuff that I played in this video, I think I've got videos and tablature for all of it. So if you go to patreon.com/EliGilbertBanjo, then you can learn all this stuff. The tune I played at the beginning was Ducks on the Mill Pond. That was the Clawhammer. Then Sourwood Mountain was that second tune. And then obviously there's Cripple Creek. You can learn all of that on Patreon. So feel free to check that out. It's a great way to support these videos. But anyway, this is the stuff that I'm practicing right now. So I'm going to get back to it. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.